Good morning. We just got back from a walk in the countryside and it was so beautiful. It truly felt like we were just kind of walking through a painting with just all the autumn leaves, just like fully like a blanket all on the floor, and just the colours of the trees and the leaves, and it's just so lovely. I'm sad because there's so many beautiful walks that we're just not going to be able to get around to doing whilst we're here, but every single walk that we've been on is just so beautiful, and I just love being out in the countryside. Even this morning when I woke up listening to the birds, it's just such a simple pleasure waking up and just hearing the bird song and the wind in the trees, and so peaceful. I could definitely get used to a life like this. We have a fun day today. Actually doing something a little bit different in this vlog, because usually I just sort of take you guys with me for one day on the weekend, but I'm actually going to be bringing you guys along with me all weekend. Well, Friday, Saturday is my weekend because sometimes I work on a Sunday, but I'm going to be bringing you along with me for 2 days this weekend because I really wanted to spend today with you because we're going horse riding. That's why I'm dressed the way I am dressed. It's the only active wear that I have that I feel like is horse riding appropriate, because obviously I don't have horse riding gear because this is my first horse riding lesson. I say that first horse riding lesson because it basically is. I did horse riding when I was a little girl, but like a very long time ago. I think it's been about 15 years since I've done a horse riding lesson. So it's like I'm basically going back to basics. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm so excited. I actually wanted to start horse riding before I left Australia, but it kind of just seemed a little counterproductive to start horse riding and then just go traveling for several months. It would be more productive for me to start horse riding and then continue it, because when we get back to Australia, I am going to continue horse riding at a stable that I've found. So yes, we're going horse riding. I'm so excited. I mentioned last week's video that starting new hobbies as an adult can be a little bit intimidating compared to as a child, when you're a little bit more fearless and you're not as nervous starting something new. Like as an adult, I feel like you have a much lower threshold for embarrassment, for example, and it can be a little bit intimidating being around people that have done this for many years, some of them even their whole lives. But I think it's just so important that we do put ourselves out there if there's something that we're interested in or something that looks like we would enjoy it or get anything out of it. I think it's so important that we give it a go. So yeah, no holding back today. We are going horse riding. Jesse is actually coming with me. He has never done a horse riding lesson before. He has rode a horse, I think, but yeah, so he's a bit nervous as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I'm hoping to get some content today. I don't know how much content I'm going to get. Obviously, I'm not going to be on my phone during the lesson, but we are doing a half-an-hour lesson and then we're going for a hack through the village. So I'm thinking I might be able to get some more content then. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. I'm really excited. And then what else are we doing today? We are also going to a farm shop and we're going to do some baking because I think it's meant to be a bit of like a rainy, cozy kind of day today. And then tomorrow we're actually going exploring. So we're going to go to one of the villages and a place called Thyme. I've seen a lot about it on social media. We're going to head there for lunch and go for a walk and check it out. So yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend. I really get excited for the weekends. I get to hang out with you guys. I get to vlog. I get to go and explore. Yeah, it's a lot of fun and I'm particularly excited for this weekend. So I'm going to pop on my gum boots because I don't have any riding boots and then we're going to head horse riding. I also tried to tie up my hair into this sort of pathetic little braid. My hair, I look back at photos of how short my hair was a year ago. It was about to my chin length and now it's about down to here. So it's probably doubled in length, but it still feels so short, especially when I do want to do something as cute as like a little braid, and my hair just, it's not going to stay. Who am I fooling? Like my hair is going to fall out in a minute. So yeah, at least we tried. Anyway, let's get ready. Let's go.
Sway there in all the colors. Summer love.
home and I'm about to start making an early dinner, and I thought I'd quickly pop on and talk about the horse riding because oh my god, it was so much fun. I will admit, like when we got there I did feel a little bit nervous because straight away she was like, okay, just hop up on the horse. I'm like, that is a really big horse. But it was really a lot of fun. We did some walking, we did some rising trot. I'm definitely going to be sore from that, but I could just feel myself, kind of like muscle memory, like it did come back to me a little bit, and I feel like within time I'll definitely remember a lot more and I'll feel a lot more comfortable. So I'm really excited about getting to that stage. Also really nice because we did like a half an hour riding lesson and then a half an hour hack afterwards, and it was really nice doing the combination because the lesson was obviously a lot more interactive, a lot more energy went into that, and then on the hack it was nice to just sort of relax and like calm down and just sort of sit on the horse and get comfortable with being on the horse. And the village that we walked through was so beautiful. Yeah, so we've already booked in our next lesson. We're doing it in a fortnight's time. We're just going to do them fortnightly at the moment. I'm not sure if anyone can relate to this, but I find that when it comes to hobbies, I get a bit like fixated on them. I dive in like head first and I just want to do it all the time. So I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go horse riding again tomorrow. And I just want the lesson to go longer and I just want to do it more because I just get, I'm not sure if it's the activity itself or if I get kind of hooked on the progress. Like when I start seeing like the progress that I'm making within the hobbies that I'm doing, that I'm not sure what it is, but I just get really, a little obsessive about them. I mean, I definitely could have chose a cheaper hobby, but then we went to the farmer's market, which was really lovely. I was kind of low-key hoping for some animals there, but they didn't have any, but we did manage to pick up some really nice produce. So I'm going to make a salad. I'm actually going to make like an autumnal salad, grainy pumpkin, kale salad with some chickpeas, and just sort of throw it all together with a bit of a dressing. That's my plan. And then we're just going to chill for the night. So the weather's kind of turned. It actually rained. It started raining a bit during our ride, and I think it's going to rain a little bit more tonight. So I think we're in for a very cozy autumnal night at home. Pop on the candle, make a nice dinner. We're going to watch Lazarus, which is so good. We've been watching it on Amazon Prime, and if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. It's a bit of like a psychological thriller, murder mystery. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's so good. It's also a little bit jump scary at times as well. But yeah, if you do like a TV show that makes you think, definitely watch Lazarus. It's so good. Jessie and I have been watching it, and it's all we can kind of talk about in between, coming up with theories on who's done it and who's done what, and just trying to piece together all the jigsaw puzzle pieces. It's really good. So I think we're going to watch that tonight. And then, like I said, I'm going to take you guys with me tomorrow because we've got a really fun day planned. I'm so excited to go and explore a little bit more. I'm absolutely loving the Cotswolds. I'm loving England. It's really funny because I hear so many people say that England's such a boring country. I've been to a fair few countries and I would say England's probably my favourite. I absolutely love it. I think it's so beautiful. I think the villages, the history, the nature, it's so beautiful. Enough rambling, let's make some dinner. Okay, so we have got some chickpeas and some pumpkin. This is like a quinoa bulgur mix. We've got some kale, lemon, tahini, maple syrup. And then for seasonings, we've got a bunch of seasonings over here. We've got cumin, smoked paprika, chili flakes, garlic granules, coriander, and of course some salt. Essentially what we're going to do is cut this up, add the pumpkin and the chickpeas, season them, pop them in the oven, boil up the grains, and then mix it all together, pop on a dressing, and that's the salad done. First things first, I think we need to light a candle. Okay, we're going to cut open this pumpkin. We're actually going to scoop out these seeds, give them a rinse, and then we're going to season them, pop them in the oven, and make like our own roasted pumpkin seeds. Another way to use up some of the pumpkin is, rather than chucking out the skin, you can actually just pop this in the oven with some seasonings and some oil and make like a roasted pumpkin skin. It's really nice. We're just going to add the chickpeas and the pumpkin to a baking tray. Obviously you guys would probably use baking paper, but I don't have any, so we're using what we've got. Give some olive oil. Salt, some cumin, a little bit of coriander, chili flakes, optional, but Jessie and I love them, so we like to go a little heavy on the chili flakes. Some garlic granules, and lastly a little bit of paprika, smoked paprika. So now we're just going to pop this in the oven about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the chickpeas are crispy and the pumpkin is nice and soft. So here we've just got our pumpkin seeds. I've just rinsed these in a sieve to clean them. We're going to add these to a pot of salted boiling water just to give them an extra clean. We're going to boil them for about 5 minutes, then dry them out as best we can, season them and pop them in the oven until they're nice and crispy. So here we have our pumpkin seeds. They've just been boiled. You would ideally let these dry out as long as possible. The drier they are, the better they're going to turn out, but I'm a little impatient, and so I'm just going to pop them in as they are. I've gave them like a little dry down, but they're still quite damp. So I'm going to pop these to this tray here where I've got the pumpkin skin laid out. I'm just going to season with some olive oil, maybe some paprika, some salt, chili flakes. You can go in really with that, whatever sort of seasonings you like, and then we're going to pop that in the oven as well for about 15 to 20 minutes. For the kale, I'm just going to be adding some olive oil and salt, and I'm just going to sort of gently massage the leaves. It helps to soften the kale a little bit, makes it a little bit more palatable, and adds a really nice flavour to it as well. Something I used to do is I would actually massage avocado into the kale leaves instead of olive oil, and that turns out really, really yummy. Okay, whilst we're waiting for everything to finish cooking, we're going to make the dressing. We're going in with about a quarter cup of tahini. Just giving it a mix so I don't get all the oils at the top here. About a tablespoon of maple syrup. Adding in some lemon juice, garlic, chili flakes, a tiny pinch of cinnamon, and mix it all together. That is really good. That is so nice. Now it's time to pop it all together. We're going to go in with our quinoa mix. This is steaming. I find the trick to cooking quinoa is to pop in a stock cube. It makes it taste so much better. Going in with the chickpeas and pumpkin. This is so good. And the kale. This is a massive, massive salad, but it's going to be for Jessie and I for 2 days. Drizzling over some of the dressing. And our roast pumpkin seeds. Yum, this looks so good. Such a really nice, simple dinner. Let's dig in. Good morning! I did something a little naughty today and I added some maple syrup into my tea. So let's see if it's any good. Yum, that's so good. That's really nice. Usually I add in a little bit of honey. I know you're not supposed to, but I think a little bit of honey isn't going to kill me. I actually woke up this morning feeling so good, so rested and refreshed. You know when you wake up in the morning and you've got like a spring in your step? That was me this morning. If you can't tell, I'm bouncing off the walls. I've got so much energy. I actually mentioned to you guys last week, I think it was last week, that I'd really been struggling to wake up in the morning, that I just was really tired and kept snoozing my alarm, and I was sleeping in way later than I ever sleep in. And I kind of put it down to the fact that it was nice and cold and cozy and snug, and you know, when you just want to stay in bed a little bit longer. I kind of put it down to that. In hindsight, actually, it also could be that I was on the back of being sick and I probably still needed a bit of rest, but I'm not sure. Something sort of flipped in me and now I'm back to my early mornings and I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. And I think what triggered it could be a few things, but I'm kind of putting it down to the fact that the clocks changed. They went back an hour. So that means that it's now getting brighter earlier. So I'm like, maybe that's a reason why I'm waking up earlier. Then the other thing could be that I've actually started taking iron tablets again. I've been vegetarian for, you know what, the majority of my life. And I've never, ever, ever had iron issues until about 1 or 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And my iron levels just went through the floor. So, and I actually, it's really interesting because at the time, my exercise increased a lot. We were training for triathlons. So yeah, my exercise increased and it's like my iron went through the floor. And then I ended up getting an iron transfusion and I haven't had any iron issues since. Like my iron's on the lower side and I have to take regular iron supplements, which I forget. I'm the worst when it comes to taking anything. I just constantly forget. Anyway, so I've started taking some iron tablets again, and I'm not sure if that's what's contributing to my energy levels, but yeah, they're like, I'm bouncing off the walls with energy. So maybe that's got something to do with it. So anyway, that's a long way of me saying that I'm back to waking up early in the morning. Also because the clock's changed, I now have to start work at 4 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock to get my work submitted on time. So the best part about the weekends and why I'm so happy this morning is my alarm did not go off at 3:30 in the morning to start work. So I've had a really nice, relaxing morning. Relaxing, despite the fact that I'm very full of energy and I'm not feeling calm at all. I'm feeling like ready to go, ready to start the day. And you know what? All this sugar in the maple syrup probably just contributing to the energy levels. I will crash later, no doubt. We're going to Burford today. We have seen so much about it online. It's, I can imagine, a very busy town, and being a Saturday as well, I can only imagine it's going to be even busier. So it's the gateway to the Cotswolds, so excited to check it out. And then we are going to Thyme afterwards, which is nearby. I believe they've got a little gift shop, gardens, they've got a beautiful restaurant. Yeah, so we're just going to wander around and check that out. That is our plan for today. I thought we would do a very quick little get ready with me because I'm keeping it really simple today. Actually, I desperately need to wash my hair. That's why it's pinned back. I saw this hack online that if your hair needs washing but you don't have time, you can use like a texture spray in your hair instead of a dry shampoo. It hasn't really worked for me. Like, my hair still looks dirty. I just don't have time to wash it because my hair is quite thick and it just takes forever to dry and even to blow dry. So I just don't really have time this morning. So I'm thinking I might even just sort of pin it back. Outfit, we are keeping this really simple. We're just going Abercrombie jeans. These are so nice. The perfect fit. They literally fit like a glove. I've just got on my cropped cos t-shirt. Another cos item is the brushed cashmere cardigan that I'm wearing. It's so soft and cozy. I'm sort of in two minds about leaving the top button sort of buttoned up like this. I think it looks really cute. It looks better with the jacket if I have it open like this. I'll show you in a moment what I mean, but I actually have a little makeup stain on my collar here and I just can't get it out. So I'm like a little tempted to sort of button this up, but I think it does look better unbuttoned. Anyway, I'll show you what I mean in a moment. The belt that I am wearing today is this Ralph Lauren thin belt. This is a dark chocolate colour. I'm just going to pop that on. I think with simple outfits, they can be really simple and then you can just make them less plain just by adding in a couple of nice accessories like a really nice belt, for example. Even though it's a simple outfit, just adding in some accessories, some nice accessories brings it to life, I think. In terms of shoes, I've got two options. I've got my new ballet flats from Vagabond, and this ties in really nicely with the brown of the belt, but it is meant to rain today and these are suede and that is not going to be a good mix. So then my other option is just my New Balance sneakers. These are a little grubby, don't judge me. And then I think this sort of ties in with the casualness, like the laid backness of the outfit. So I'm kind of tempted to lean towards these just because they're going to be a little bit more practical and they still suit, like it still looks nice. So I'm thinking these, taking off my slippers. Honestly, I wish I could just wear my slippers out. I feel like if I had a pair of those Ugg boots that everyone wears, it would just be like walking around in slippers. Can you believe, even though Uggs are Australian, and I'm obviously Australian, I've never owned Ugg boots, ever. And then for my jacket, I'm just actually going in with my Massimo Dutti jacket. I've mentioned before that this jacket and this cardigan pair so beautifully together because they're a similar colour. This is what I mean by I think the cardigan looks better with the top button undone because it looks better with the layers open like this and you can kind of get a little bit more dimension again to the outfit rather than having this buttoned up, because now I feel like it just looks a bit closed off. I mean, in all honesty, if it gets too cold, they'll both be buttoned up anyway. Anyway, this is the outfit, really nice and casual, just for a day bopping around the countryside. Enough chatting, I think. Let's get on the road and let's go to Burford. These scarves are so cute. I feel like this would be really good.
Yeah, we're trying to get your name.
beautiful this fabric is. Could you imagine that as like a cushion cover? Or even this one for autumn. It's so lovely. Look at those colours. Had such a lovely day. Burford is so nice. It was definitely a lot bigger and busier than a few of the towns that we've been to. There's a lot more going on. It was really nice looking at all the independent shops, and so many of the shops had the most beautiful homewares and gifts and just items and clothing pieces. This one place had the most beautiful gloves that I definitely would have bought if I had any use for gloves or any need for gloves back in Australia, but I don't. And I already have a pair of gloves with me. And we went to Thyme, and that was also really lovely. It was amazing, and the whole atmosphere, the whole space was so beautiful. I really love that farm to table concept. That's something I'm really excited about for my future home, is to have my own kitchen garden and to be able to grow my own produce and cook from my own produce. I'd actually love to be able to make my own like breads and condiments and just kind of have less reliance on buying things from the store, just because like they add in a lot of preservatives, a lot of added extras, and I think that if you have the time, it's quite rewarding to be able to make it yourself, and it's just something I'd like to learn in the future. I've just been at home relaxing a little bit. I'm actually just been reading this. I found this on the bookshelf. I actually listen to a podcast called The Sleepy Bookshelf to help me get to sleep sometimes, and the story that I listen to is The Wind in the Willows, and I've never actually read the book. So I saw this, and Airbnb had it in their bookshelf, and I thought, wow, I can't believe I've been here for a few weeks and I haven't read this. It's got the most gorgeous illustrations, which I just think is so sweet. This is actually the last vlog that we'll have in this accommodation, because we're checking out this in a week's time, and then we're moving to another part of the Cotswolds. Our initial plan when we came to England was we wanted to just be in the one place for 3 months rather than having to move around every month, but our accommodation that we were trying to organise kind of fell through. So then we ended up, not last minute, but like a couple of months before we got here, we kind of had to try and find accommodation for 3 months. And a lot of places on Airbnb, even if they were booked for the weekend, it meant that we couldn't book for the whole time, the whole period that we were looking for. So we ended up having to book 3 separate places for a month each, which has its perks. I mean, it's a bit like, it's kind of getting a little bit tiring packing up every month and moving, but it does have its perks, because now we're getting to explore different parts of the area that we're in. Like at the moment, like we're kind of in the south of the Cotswolds at the moment. We're going up north next, and then we're actually going to Bath, which we were never planning on staying in Bath. So now at least we're getting to experience other areas. So it definitely has its perks, and everywhere that we're going is so beautiful. It just means that we can really slow down and kind of explore the area that we're in a little bit better. So that's, so we're checking out. I'm really sad, in all honesty. I love it here. I love this little cottage. I love the area that we're in. I love the fact that the river is outside my bedroom window. So I wake up in the morning and I'm looking at the garden and the river. It's so beautiful. It's so quiet. I love all the nature walks. So yeah, we're checking out. But the next place that we're going to is another cottage, and it's in a little village. So I'm sure that is going to be equally as beautiful. Actually, just a little update on what we're doing over the next few months. We booked an impromptu trip to Paris. We went to Paris last year. We loved it. We love Paris. So we're actually going back, and it'll be so beautiful because when we're there, they hopefully will have all the Christmas lights and decorations and everything up. So yeah, gonna have a little early Christmas in Paris. And then we also have booked a weekend in London just before Christmas as well. So we'll get to explore London at Christmas, which it just looks so magical. I've mentioned before, like I live in like a small coastal town. So Christmas where I live, like people don't decorate the same. It doesn't feel the same because it's like hot. Everyone's at the beach, they're swimming, it's summer, you know. So to be here when it's cold and Christmas lights and decorations and you can get a hot chockey and there's just going to be all the markets and stuff, I'm really excited to experience that. So we kind of thought, let's not hold back. Let's just go and experience Christmas. Now we're getting to experience Christmas in the Cotswolds. When I say Christmas, I'm actually more referring to like the Christmas decorations and the markets and things like that. So we're getting to experience that in Paris, the Cotswolds, Bath and London. We're definitely making the most of it. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this here because I've talked so much in this week's vlog, more than I usually talk, so you guys might even be sick of me by now. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. It really means the world to me. It actually really, every time I see your comments, it just puts the biggest smile on my face. I actually pinch myself sometimes. I think, wow, like I can't believe that this community that we have here online is so lovely, and it's just a beautiful corner of the internet. If you haven't said hi yet, please do, because I love reading your comments. I love replying to your comments and talking to you guys. And thank you again for being here, and I will see you guys next week.